There's a truth that most people never want to hear. The pain you run from is the very thing that can set you free. We live in a world that glorifies comfort. Everything around you is designed to make things easier, faster, softer. But greatness doesn't come from ease. Growth doesn't come from comfort. The strongest people you've ever admired, they weren't shaped by smooth roads or easy choices. They were forged in fire. Pain is not your enemy. It's your initiation. The truth is, pain doesn't break you. It reveals you. It strips away the lies you tell yourself, the excuses you hide behind, and the limitations you accepted. It takes you to the edge, so you can decide whether you'll jump or rise. Pain demands a response. It won't let you stay asleep. It shakes you awake, screaming that something must change. And if you're listening, if you're honest enough to face it, you can transform it into power. You see, the people who rise aren't the ones who avoid pain. They're the ones who use it. They get hurt, and they keep going. They lose, and they learn. They fall, and they rise with more fire in their chest than ever before. Because when you stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? You unlock something deep. You stop playing the victim and start building the warrior. You stop fearing the fire and start becoming it. Most people won't get it. They'll look at your scars and feel sorry for you. But you'll look at your scars and feel pride. Because every one of them is proof that you didn't quit. That you faced what most people avoid. That you chose to grow instead of hide. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need permission. You just need to embrace the pain that life throws at you and use it as a weapon. Let it teach you. Let it train you. Let it transform you. Because the path you're looking for, it's not hidden behind comfort. It's carved through pain. And if you're brave enough to walk it, there's no limit to who you can become. There's a point in every journey where the pain becomes too loud to ignore. The body aches, the mind begs for rest, and everything inside you whispers, just quit. And in that moment, you face the real battle, not with the world, but with yourself. This is where most people stop. They say it's too much. They convince themselves they were never meant for more. They numb the pain, distract themselves, find comfort in excuses, and call it peace. But you felt that crossroads. And you didn't stop, because somewhere inside you knew this wasn't the end. It was the beginning. You didn't just survive the pain. You allowed it to shape you. You learned to stand when everything around you fell. You became sharp, focused, intentional. The fire that once threatened to consume you became your forge. You turned breakdowns into breakthroughs. See, real power doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from what you overcome. Anyone can smile when life is easy. Anyone can be strong when things go right. But only a few can carry their pain with purpose. Only a few can bleed and still build. The people who've truly mastered themselves, they've walked through storms you'll never see. They've cried in silence, failed more times than you can count, and stood alone when no one clapped. And still, they kept going. That's what makes them different. They didn't wait for life to get easier. They got stronger. They didn't pray for the pain to stop. They learned how to carry it. They used it as a reminder of what they were fighting for. A reminder that pain is temporary, but power is permanent. Every wound, every loss, every hard night, it all added up to this unshakable will. So the next time life knocks you down, don't curse it. Don't run. Look in the eyes and say, "You don't scare me anymore. I've walked through worse. I've come too far. I've bled too much. And I'm not turning back now." This is the price of greatness. Not applause, not praise, but resilience, discipline, grit, the quiet, relentless pursuit of more. Not because you hate where you are, but because you know who you could be. Pain didn't break you. It built you. And if you keep going, it'll make you unstoppable. There comes a moment when pain no longer feels like punishment. It starts to feel like purpose. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, you ask, "What is this making of me?" That shift is everything. Because now, you see the pain as part of the plan, not an obstacle, but a tool. A force that's been sharpening your vision, your values, and your voice. You've stopped waiting for life to get easier. You've stopped hoping for someone to save you. You become your own rescue. You've realized that no one's coming. And strangely, that truth has made you stronger. Because now, everything you become, you earn. This is the transformation. You used to avoid the hard conversations. Now you initiate them. You used to shrink in the face of challenge. Now you rise. You used to fear failure. Now you see it as part of your evolution. And when people ask how you did it, they'll expect some secret. But you'll just smile and say, I face myself. Because the hardest battle is always internal. The doubts, the voices, the past, the patterns. You fought all of it. And with every step, you took back control. You stopped blaming, stopped complaining, and started owning your life. Not everything changed around you, but everything changed within you. You became more than someone chasing success. You became someone embodying strength, quiet strength, the kind that doesn't boast, doesn't beg, and doesn't break. The kind that shows up daily, disciplined, determined, and grounded. Now when adversity hits, you don't flinch. You lean in. You smile, not because you enjoy the pain, but because you recognize it. You know it's part of the process. You've danced with discomfort before, and every time you came out wiser. Every time you came out stronger. This is who you are now. Not perfect, not invincible, but powerful beyond belief. Because you discovered something rare. Pain is not your prison. It's your pathway. The pathway to clarity, to confidence, to character, to the version of you that doesn't just survive, but leads, lifts, and leave a legacy. And the world, it won't always understand you, but it will feel you, because your presence has changed. It carries weight. It carries truth. It carries a story of someone who transformed through trials. And that story, it's just getting started. There's no going back now. You've crossed a line. The old version of you is gone. The one that doubted, hesitated, waited for permission. That version died in the fire. What rose from the ashes is something the world can't ignore, because it wasn't built in comfort. It was forged in chaos. Now you don't just walk through life, you move with purpose. You felt the weight of failure and still carried yourself forward. You stood alone in silence and still chose to speak your truth. You faced fear, looked in the eyes, and said, move. This is what it means to be unstoppable. Not that nothing hurts you, but that nothing owns you. Not that you don't fall, but that you rise faster than ever. You no longer react. You respond. You don't panic. You plan. You don't beg. You build. Every scar tells a story. Every bruise holds a lesson. And every time you were pushed to the edge, you didn't break. You expanded. Your power is no longer potential. It's active. It's real. It's earned. You stopped asking, what if? And started declaring, watch me. You've silenced the noise and tuned into your own frequency. Because greatness isn't a matter of luck. It's a matter of choice. And you've made yours. You chose to keep going. You chose to believe when no one else did. You chose to rise, to speak, to fight, to lead. And that choice changed everything. Now the world can try to box you in, but you've grown too large. It can try to slow you down, but you've picked up speed. It can try to break you, but you've already rebuilt yourself from nothing. You are no longer chasing a version of yourself. You are living it. You walk different now, not with arrogance, but with certainty. Not because everything is perfect, but because you know who you are. You know what you've endured. You know what you're capable of. And the truth is, you're just getting started. Because the warrior path isn't a moment, it's a movement. It doesn't end with victory. It begins again every single day. Every time you rise, every time you show up, every time you do what needs to be done when no one's watching. That's where real greatness lives. So remember, when the fire fades, reignite it. When the world doubts, stand taller. When the storm hits, walk through it. Because you are the storm. You are the proof that it's possible. The example others will follow. The light that rises from the dark. You are the one who kept going. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you now.